This time I have a Hitachi PF74. This is a DVD player and VCR combo. Came from the same fellow with the Sony that had the problem with the capsule motor pulley that came off when it was rewinding his Batman tape. He's brought me the Batman tape. Actually, he gave me two of them to check out. One's kind of crunched. The other one he said it was making noise. We're going to check out the tapes and check out this machine he picked up at the thrift shop and see what's wrong with it. So I got this little video recorder DVD player combo in from a client who likes old video equipment. Let me have a look at it. He says the remote is dirty remote. Okay, well, the remote doesn't appear to work, and I can't even get battery cover off this thing. What do you bet it's got Duraleak in it? I bet you it's got Duraleak batteries, and they've corroded. Let's find out. Oh yeah, I called it. Duracell that are corroded. Okay, well, let's get these out of here. We'll get this neutralized with some vinegar. They're like the batteries are like packed right in. Need something to dig these out with. You gotta be kidding me. Right over the garbage bin. Got my custom made vinegar holder here. Let's clean up this crud. You always use something that's slightly acidic to neutralize alkaline batteries, such as vinegar or lemon juice or something that's slightly acidic. Vinegar is a good choice. If you're dealing with conventional acid-based zinc carbon batteries, you will use a slightly caustic solution. So a little bit of baking soda in water would neutralize acid-based zinc carbon leakage. Got a couple of Sunbeam batteries here. Let's see if this thing puts out a signal. Is this thing outputting a signal? No, of course not. So, in addition to the batteries being corroded, there's obviously something else. The remote, though, is not as big a concern. We've got to make sure that the actual unit itself is functional before worrying about the remote. We'll pop the top off this one first. This is the plastic era VCRs. I paid 20 bucks for this thing at the Salvation Army thrift store. What's with that little funky screw? Well, that's an interesting looking chassis. Looks just like a Funai, actually. Let's power it up and see whether it turns on. They gave me a couple tapes. Not that I can use these tapes, but one of these tapes was, this was the fellow that had the Sony that wouldn't rewind. And he gave me a couple copies of Batman. Apparently this is the one that wasn't rewinding, but we know why it wasn't rewinding. It's because the pulley was slipping and fell off. And a second tape that's kind of been chewed up a bit. I guess we can repair this one. Just the beginning, it looks to be chewed. Okay, the tape is as good as new. I just chopped off that 2 feet of leader, basically. Wouldn't even get into the I wouldn't even get into the previews, I don't think. This turns on, but apparently it doesn't play. Well, tape drops, and the head spins. Does it play? It plays. So I got the logo, like not even the logo was cut off, just the FBI warning was where the damage section was. So that tape plays. This appears to be working. I'm going to try that other tape that he said wouldn't rewind, but I know it's going to rewind just fine. This one fast forwards. Maybe it's the DVD player that's got an issue, but the VCR works. Let's try this other tape. Interesting. These are two different copies of the same movie. One's on a Scotch tape and the other one's on, compliments of Diet Coke. This was a freebie, this one. That was when they were giving away free movies. You bought Diet Coke. I guess you bought a certain number and then you mailed it in and you got an original Warner Home Video. It looks like this has been opened, doesn't it? And this one's missing a label from the back. Interesting. Anyway, this tape apparently wasn't rewinding on the other machine. I think it's fine. I think it was just his machine. Oh, wait a minute. The take-up spool's not turning on this tape. Well, isn't that interesting? Ah, okay, you know what? Maybe that's what broke his machine. That is probably what broke that pulley, you know? This tape will not rewind. Check this out again. Let's just... I bet you someone spilled something on this. Look. Look at this. If I hit rewind... Yeah, you think this tape's got a problem? Yeah, this tape's been buggered up. Now, the fellow that brought me this, it's the same fellow that brought me the Sony that I had to repair, the one that I sold him, that had the pulley had come off. That makes perfect sense. That's why it was fine until he was running that tape, and something jammed, and I guess when it jammed, it effed up the recorder. Well, let's just pop this tape open and see why it's not working. You know, because, hey, wait a minute. It's got a security screw. Do I have a bit for this? I think I do. It's a triangular shaped one. We'll try this one. There. That one got me in. Why is this tape sticking? I wonder if I'll find something under the real table that's causing it to stick. I was expecting to see something under here, but I don't. And no, that special lock screw is not going to go back in. Back in the day of movie rentals was people making copies of the tapes and then opening up the shell and swapping the spools around and then sending back the copy to the rental store. See, I know all about this because where I worked, we used to rent movies, and we had that happen. People were stealing tapes. They were stealing the original tapes and sending back copies. Nope, it's still stuck. What the heck? Why is that spool stuck? That's weird. This other copy works. That's the other copy. It works fine. That's really bizarre because nothing looks physically damaged inside this shell, and yet the reel won't turn. Okay, well, I'm not losing any sleep over that copy of the tape. But now we know why the Sony machine got broken. It was, the tape was bad. That might be for another day. Let's check out the DVD player on this machine and see whether it works. I was told it doesn't work, but it might be just it might have been the DVD player that wasn't working. And the remote, of course. We got to deal with that. If the DVD player works, I'll deal with the remote. This is my drone footage that I put onto a DVD. I'll switch the output to DVD. Pop in the disc. This was a disc I was burning for a customer, and I had a head clog, so I had to scrap the disc, and rather than make a coaster, I just deleted the file that was on it and threw some stuff on the end of the disc for a test disc. Well, it looks like it works. You know what? I know what his problem is. It's got no sound. Yeah. I don't hear any sound. I know there's sound on the disc, but it's not playing any sound. Okay, well. No sound out of any of the output. I'm just wondering if it's switched for whether the output is switched to digital output only, because there was sound on the VHS side of things, right, when I put the tape in. That part works. Sounds like a bit of a tracking error, but oh no, it's auto track. Okay, so that part works. It's no sound on the DVD. I may have to fix this remote because there might be an audio mode that is selected for digital output. Some of these DVD players, quite a few of them actually, if you selected Dolby Digital, they did not put out any sound from the analog outputs. Some did, but many did not, depending on what mode you were in. And it's only selectable with the remote. So I need to open this remote that had batteries leaking in it and see whether it's a mode that can be changed. I don't see any corrosion on the board. And the actual rubber contacts don't look too bad either. I just wonder, maybe the batteries aren't making a good connection. I'll try powering it up with 3 volts. See whether I can get any light from this directly. Alright, let me just try this with the terminals connected and see if it flashes. Okay, so it does work. Okay, so the remote works. Maybe just my batteries. I was using rechargeables, which shouldn't make any difference. They're a little lower in voltage. Most remotes will work. Maybe this is one of those ones that won't. I'll just go try digging up a few fresh alkaline batteries and see whether the remote works. Okay, no, it doesn't work with alkaline batteries either. What's going on? Okay, I just had to scrape the terminals some more. Let's go back and look at the screen and see if there's a menu that I can change. Audio. There we go. Change the audio mode. So it looks like the audio just was in the wrong mode, and by just switching the audio mode on the remote, it now has the sound fixed. That's good. Let's see if the other buttons on the remote work. Pause. Yep. Play, skip forward. I guess that's 1 times speed, 2 times speed, 3 times speed. Chapter skip. Yeah, that's all working. So this unit looks like it's working okay. That's good. That's good. The fellow that bought it couldn't get it to work. And all we had to do was change the audio mode and clean the crud out of the remote. This chassis sure looks like a funai to me. That looks just like a funai. Look at plastic guides here. Oop, we're going to have to clean this up. I don't know if this needs a mode switch clean on it or not. I think it's probably okay. It seems to be working okay. The heads definitely need to be cleaned though. They are filthy. You can actually even see, look at the dirt on the side of that head, right? You can see. So we do need to clean the heads on this. We'll do that. We'll clean the heads and then give this another test and then get it out of here and get onto the other one, because I have another more classic machine than this one. I'm just using isopropyl alcohol on a piece of paper to clean the video head, turning the upper drum counterclockwise, and I had to put a fair bit of pressure on the actual paper itself because this drum was quite dirty. We're also going to clean the other parts of the transport, the audio control head, the erase head, the guides, using a Q-tip with some isopropanol. I use 99%. Getting there. And you can get by with the 70% stuff. That will work. It just takes longer to dry. Yeah, that head drum was quite contaminated. Looks like this one's never been cleaned or has not been cleaned in forever. Looks like I'm getting low on my 100% or 99% isopropyl. Go to the pharmacy, I guess, and ask them for it and see if it's still restricted like it was during the pandemic. You couldn't get it. They wouldn't sell it to you. Used to be you could just walk into the drugstore and buy the stuff off the shelf. I haven't bought any for a while, but someone was telling me you have to ask the pharmacist now for anything stronger than 70%. You have to ask the pharmacist for, which sounds kind of silly. Yeah, that was from the guides and the audio control head. So yeah, this machine is dirty. We'll check the alignment on this. Tension-wise seems to be okay. I just hear noise in the audio, so I'll check the alignment. Our RF test point is here, and the next one over to it is the envelope. It is marked on the board. The test points are marked on this one. So let's take a look at the RF envelope, which on this pre-recorded tape does not look good. Now the tape itself might be out, but I'll check it with one of my other tapes as well. But let's just take a look at the RF envelope. As you can see, the envelope looks like it could be better. I'm going to just try one of my other tapes, one that I know is correct. This one should be correct. And the yeah, it's auto tracking here, but one of the heads a little lower than the other. Actually, it's not bad. It might be that tape. It looks like the exit side guide might be off just a tiny bit. Oops, wrong way. I mean, that looks good. The Batman pre-recorded tape looks pretty good now too. Yeah, so we're good. As you can see, it's playing perfect. But all I can probably show you is just the title credits. And I gotta stop it. Now, as what happened to this tape, well, I'm still curious as to why this tape doesn't work. I'm probably more curious as to why this tape doesn't work than what was wrong with the machine. Something is sticking that take-up spool, and I got to get to the bottom of this because this one's gonna bug me. I mean, it's a tape. Like, what possibly could be causing this to stick? All right, I put it back together one last time. Is it gonna work or is it not? If it's not, the tape's garbage. I can't see anything wrong with the tape as to why it's not turning, and yet it's not turning. So no rhyme or reason. There's nothing broken that I can see, and yet it doesn't turn. That is the most bizarre thing I have ever seen. Well, that's a garbage tape, but you can have back his other tape that works. The one he bought for $1.99 at the second-hand store, because this one plays no problem. Oh well, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.